So what do you say? Time to review another one of your underwater films? I would say so. Let's do this. Hey there underwater filmmakers, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for this new episode of reviewing your underwater films. In today's episode I will be watching and reviewing a film made by Felix Stintzing from Germany. And without wasting any more time, let's get right into it and let's see what Felix has put together for us. Here we go. Alright, so this is a showreel that Felix has put together here. That's a nice shot. I like the music as well. Nice. It's beautiful. That was a bit of a quick sequence there. All right, well done Felix, thank you very much for submitting your film and allowing me to review it here within this series. So this is a rather special submission that we've got, because it is not a underwater film per se, but it's more, as the name already says as well, a cinematography reel. And a cinematography reel, or an underwater cinematography reel in this case, is normally used to showcase your work and showcase your ability as an underwater cameraman, as an editor, so that people who are interested in working with you and hiring you for some sort of underwater imagery or editing work, that they can see what kind of imagery you can pull off, how you can edit it together, and well, kind of what you can do with the images, and what images can you produce. So this is something that we need to keep in mind when we talk about this. First of all, I do think that the music was quite fitting to the images that we saw, so that was a good pick from my opinion. What I really liked is that you've kept pretty much the same sort of tone when it comes to how the image felt in terms of color, saturation, white balance. It looked pretty even throughout the entire 3.5 minutes or whatever it was. So you put quite a bit of effort, I can imagine, into color correcting and matching those clips together, and there was a clearly distinguishable style that you've tried to showcase in this cinematography reel. So that was good effort there, well done. I think that's important, that you can showcase your personal specific style in such a reel, because if someone wants really saturated popping colors, then you might not really be the perfect match for that person to get the job done, because the way you film your stuff, it's more desaturated. Sometimes it goes even sort of into the, not quite black and white, but it goes into that direction. You've had a lot of images, a lot of shots in there, pointing the camera towards the sun, getting a lot of light in there, a lot of brightness in the image itself. So that's a completely different style, which is great. And I like that you've actually thought about this and made all the images look very similar in that sense. What I also enjoyed is that you did use cinema bars, so you made the image more narrow by putting a black bar at the top and at the bottom. So it gives it that widescreen look, and it makes it a little more cinematic. I did really enjoy this, and I think that that the look of the images of your footage that you've captured here and produced with this clip, it does have quite a cinematic look to it. Also, because you were working a lot with the depth of field, so in quite a few of these images or these clips, you could see how your main object was in focus, and anything behind it was sort of not completely blurred out, but it was not as focused as your main object. And that's kind of what really makes an image a little more cinematic looking, in my opinion, and that's something that is really hard to achieve with action cameras. This is not being filmed with an action cam, and I'm just saying, if you're for the other people watching, if you're filming with action cameras, this is an effect that you're gonna have trouble achieving with an action cam, just because there everything is gonna be in focus naturally. That's how these cameras work. What else can I say? Well, if I can give you a tip, then it would be this. This is a cinematography show reel. So it's about 3.5 minutes long, I think, from what I've seen, or nearly 4 minutes long, actually. I would try to keep this shorter, and I would try to just use the very best of the best shots in this reel, and take all the other shots out there. You had some really nice shots in here, but you also had some good shots, but they're nothing really special, and they're not really doing much to the overall look of your cinematography reel. So maybe try to keep it half its size or half its length, about 2 minutes maybe, and just take out the shots that are not really special and that do not really convey a certain specific feeling, and showcase your work, obviously. I've also noticed that most of your shots were wide-angle shots. There were some mid shots in there as well, but I didn't see a single close-up shot, and that's something that I'm missing. Maybe it's because you don't do macro and close-up filming underwater. If you don't, then I would strongly recommend that you start looking into that field, because if someone wants to hire you to do some work, it is quite likely that they're not only going to be doing wide angle stuff, but it's also going to be some close-up macro work involved there as well. Doesn't always have to be that way, but you definitely just opening up the field that you're open to work in by quite a bit, by integrating some macro shots, some good macro shots into your cinematography show reel there as well. Right at the beginning, I thought that it's a bit pity that you didn't have any divers in there, but then towards the end of the show reel, you had some scenes with divers. I would have probably chosen different shots with divers. I like the one where the diver was going inside the wreck, but I would probably have filmed this differently, rather from inside the wreck, having the diver come to you. That would have probably given a nicer, or produced a nicer clip, in my opinion. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I can give you as a feedback on this. All in all, a really nice piece of underwater imagery. Obviously, there's no storytelling involved here. It's just nice shots, basically just put together as a cinematography show reel. So storytelling is not really an issue here. But yeah, all in all, a really nice piece of work. Felix, congratulations on this. I think you've got a cool style of filming underwater, and I hope that this cinematography show reel works for you and gives you some potential work in the future. And as I said before, the tip that I can give you, try to keep it shorter and only just keep the images in there, the shots, the clips in there that are really special, rather than trying to make it to a specific length. Keep it shorter and just eliminate all the shots that are not very specific or very special out of your cinematography show reel, because as the name says, it should be the best of the best only that is being shown in such a show reel. Now that's about it. That's all I've got to say for this, or to this submission that we've got from you, Felix. Again, thank you very much for submitting. Hopefully I was able to give you some feedback and some stuff that you can work on for future underwater film productions and maybe some future underwater cinematography show reels. Hopefully everyone else was able to benefit a little bit from Felix's video and submission here as well. And if that was the case, please do not forget, hit that like button and also consider subscribing so you're not missing out on any future content that will be uploaded here. As always, I will be putting the the link to the video of Felix into the video description, as well as the link to his YouTube channel. So feel free to go over to his channel, give him a like, leave a comment, and just say hi to Felix that way. That's about it. Not much more for me to say then. Thank you very much for your time and for watching. And as always, have a fantastic week. Enjoy capturing your underwater adventures, and I will see you in the next video.